Am I right? We are in verse number 22, right?
Yes.
Okay. The teaching, second blessing of Guru and Gauranga, so we're done. So maybe anybody want to take lead of this mantra, this pranam?
Yeah, we can do that, Prabhu. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaive nuratamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting this Srimad-bhagavatam, which is very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So this is next.
Nasta prayes abhatreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay. Section themes. Conclusion of text 1:16 to 21. The glories of devotional service. Now, these verses we're going to give you 23 to 29. Who is the object of devotional service? Because the two questions we answer. What the two question was? Anybody remember?
Sorry, Prabhu, can you repeat that?
What the two questions asked by the sages?
I thought there were 6 questions. Isn't it 6 questions, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm asking the first two.
Oh, first two. Okay. Our first question: what is the ultimate good of people in general?
Yes. Then the second one.
Please explain the essence of all scripture for everyone's satisfaction.
Okay. Now, in order to so the answers already given. So now, in order to understand the essence and the samba bonum, so that means the essence and also the what is ultimate good, and they need to do savai pumsam parotharma. That means they need to do a bhakti to Krishna. So who is the object of devotional service need to be known. So then we can do that. The next, the worship of Brahma and Vishnu and Shiva, worship of Vishnu Tattva with other demigod, and Vasudeva is actually object of worship. This is how we're going to see this term, no, these section terms. So verse number 22 today, where it started with Atovai Kavyo Nityam Bhaktim Parama Maya Moda Vasideva Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim. So can the translation be read, please? Is it unaudible?
Certainly. Therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So next, what the specialty of devotional service into the Lord Sri Krishna? The facility of intimate personal contact as in transcendental pastime of the Lord at Vrajabhumi. Did you all remember the 14 process that Hari Madhurya Anubhava? Right, so you can feel that the facility for the intimate so contact as a higher transcendentalists are more attracted toward Lord Sri Krishna. It means the higher transcendentalists. So they won't go to the Parabrahma or Paramatma, they will go to Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna is Swayam Rupa, the original form of Godhead, and all other form are is plenary portion and integrated parts. As compound in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has internal blissful spiritual body, is the original of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all cause. The next, Ramadi Murtishi Kalani Yemenan Tistan. I worship Govinda, the prime Lord, who manifests himself as Krishna and a different avatar in the world in the form of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, and Ektra, is subject portions. So we need to understand that other incarnation is just as subjective portions. So that means Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. The next, this is the something that you all need to know. Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. So from him, Krishna the Swayam Bhagavan, or Adi Purush, Balram come. From him, where Anirudh, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna. This is the first quarter. Then from them, Narayana came. Then from him, another quarter came, that Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Mahashankarshan, and Pradyumna. So when we can see Purusha Avatar constants 3, where Karnadaka Vishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, and Kishoradaka Vishnu. This is where some simple drawing. The next is apart from direct from Krishna is Radharani. Then from Radharani for the Narayana constant Lakshmi. Then Mahamaya, Durga from direct from Radharani, Durga, from Durga Kali. So then another in form it called Virat Roop or universal form of the Lord. It's a material form where it's here. Krishna is avatar. Then there are 10 Maha avatar, the main incarnation, Matsya, Parasuram, Kurma, Rama, Varaha, Balaram, Narsimha, Buddha, Vamana, and Kalki. So then they got Leela avatar, Man avatar, Yuga avatar, Shaktivish avatar, then 11 Rudras, then countering deities, 9 Vasus and 12 Adityas. So this is how he expand. So this is something that normally you all but bit confused like when we say Krishna is a Swayam Bhagavan. So this is where Krishna came. Is it you all can see the pictures here?
It's a bit tiny, Prabhu, but it's okay.
Yeah, okay. I think you all need to big it in your phone or something if there. So where you can see Swayam Bhagavan, Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa means his original form as a covered in Vrindavan. So Krishna level leaf Vrindavan, his original form is there. So then he got Swayam Prakasha, means his own manifestations. So from his own manifestations got Prabhava Prakasha, where when during Rasalila, you can see that he expand himself with all the gopis. You can see all the gopis think that Krishna with them. This is called Prabhava Prakasha. So this is a direct from him. Then from him, Vaibha Prakasha is a Balram. Then from Vaibha Prakasha, that Ekatma Rupa, expansion with different moods and bodily feature. That Ekatma Rupa. It been segregated two directions. One is Vilasha, one is Swahamsa. So from the Vilasha is Mahavishnu or the Vaikuntha Natha. From him where Prabhasa Vilasha and Vaibhav Vilashas came. This is mean the quartal, the first quartable or Chaturvya expansions, Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. The second quartable expansion is also same where Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So this is the agent. The next from Swamsa. So this is Vilasha. Now we're going to Swamsa. From Swamsa, got Leela Avatar, Purusha Avatar, Guna Avatar, Shaktivish Avatar, Man Avatar, Yuga Avatar. Okay. First we go to Leela Avatar. Leela Avatar means the pastime descent of the Lord, which are described to be unlimited, just as the wave of ocean. some of them are. So the Leela avatar include like Matsya, Kurma, Ramachandra, Narishima, Vamana, and Varaha. Sometime from this Leela avatar also where Yuga avatar came into places. So another Swamsa, this is Leela avatar, and another part is Purusha avatar. It may be, I don't know whether you all can understand or not, but just listen. For me, it take like 2 weeks to understand and study it. So just seeing it, just observe. When a matter of time come, then you all can observe, no? So we just focus on this. When Purusha avatar contain where descent of the Lord related with creations. Purusha avatar is related to creation. So the means Karnataka Vishnu, the origin Purusha avatar lying in Kaushal ocean, from whom the universal emanates. So from the the skin hole where the universal came, where Garbhodaka Vishnu is there. So from Garbhodaka Vishnu, the second Purusha avatar, where expands into every universe. Now, when we can see from this Garbhodaka Vishnu, where Hiranyagarbha came, that means Brahma came, and got Kishurodaka Vishnu, where it always came with Jiva. When Purusha avatar, the first Purusha avatar, Karnataka Vishnu, when he exhales, creation is take place. So when he exhales, Pradhana or Mahatattva scheme. So when the time factor comes, I will show you how to do but Mahatattva, then you all can get clear pictures. It's just a glimpse of it. When in a skin hole, the creation take place, when Nitya Badas with Pradhana, and then from Pradhana is Mahatattva, it came. So like that, then the creation take place. It means Jiva or the Nitya Badas always accompanied by Kishurodaka Vishnu, the form of Paramatma. So that means living. So the Lord is not partial, is equal to everyone. It's depend on the soul how they're going to take it. So depend on your again. So the rain are pouring equally, even in a stone. So if the stone never absorbs the water, can the stone blame the rain? No, right? So like that, it's depend on the jiva whether they want to accept the mercy of the Lord or the ones. If you accept, then you transcendental your three moods. When you transcendental your three moods, where you're not subjected to this bodily effect anymore. So therefore, the devotee is always special case for the Lord. There's something when you come to the 7th canto of Srimad-bhagavatam, you can understand about the Kishurodaka Vishnu subject. So until now, the Paramatma is so difficult to observe. When he is up to Brahmajyoti, when he up to the Brahmajyoti, then when we already man to the when we go to Sadasiv Vaikunta, then no more Paramatma following us, where we have our Swayarupam is already there. So next is Guna Avatar. You all know, right, Guna? No, my neighbor Guna, no?
Character?
What the character was?
Sattva guna, Rajas guna, Tamas guna, is it?
Yes, okay. They got the so the chief who are controlling this guna is Brahma for the Rajasic, Vishnu for Sattva, and Lord Shiva for Tamas. So that does not mean that they are influenced with this Tama. Sometimes, occasionally, they might be, because they are the prominent deity for the Tamas, sometimes they might be involved, but not, they are free from this guna. So you need to understand that. Then we go to Yuga Avatar. So we got a 4 yuga. Every yuga, the descent of the Lord to establish religions of the age. For each of the 4 ages, they are manifest in 4 colors. So in Satya is white, Suklam, Treta is a red, Rakta, Tapra is a blackish, Krishna, Shama, and Kali Yuga is yellow, Pita. Then Man Avatar is a Manu, descendant of the Lord for each age of Manu. During one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and for each age of Manu, there are one avatar. Mean each age of Manu, there are one avatar. That means one Manu, they got one avatar will come. So they got a day of Brahma got 40, a day of Brahma got 14 Manu. So one Manu, when one Manu taking 17 Divya Yugas. So one Divya Yugas contain of Chatur Yuga. So this is how it go. So that means now the current Manu is Vaishvasta Manu. So it's also an extension of the Lord. The next is Saktivesh Avatar. From the especially this is empowered living entity who are representative of Lord. So they are something empowered by the Lord. They got Avatar, they got Ibu. So Vibhuti means reflection of the Lord mighty, such as listed in Bhagavad Gita. No? Like among demigod, I am a Indra. Among the Agni, among the Vasu, I am Agni. Among the mount, he is a Meru. So like that, among the chief commander is a Kartikeya. Among the priests is Brahaspati. And among the sages is Brughamuni. So like that, he was saying, to show his power, showing his vibhuti or his empowerment, is showing his empowerment to this living. Then next is Sakti, the avatar. They are the living entity who are direct empowered by the Lord. Example like 4 Kumaras, where they been give Jnana Sakti and wisdom. Narada, Bhakti Sakti, or Vishnu. Brahma is a Srishti Shakti, so the empowered for the creations. Then Ananda Shesh is Bhu, Dharana Shakti, who can maintain the whole world under his head. Then Prithu Maharaj is ruling the words. This called as Palana Shakti. And Parasuram is Dusta Nasaka Viharaya, by annihilating the miscreants. This out. And Prabhupada are included in Saktivesh Avatar because it's a Bhakti Shakti. Okay, they look like I'm giving a PhD, so everybody's a doctors here now. So congratulations. So now we're going to the verse number 23. Okay, can Sadvam Rajas Tama iti Prakriti Gunatahir Yukta Parapurusha Eka Hisa Date Sti Adya Ari Vrinchi Ariti Samjana Sriyamsi Tatra Khalo Sadva Tanur Naranam Sayo. So now we have seen the creation of the Lord, where we sing from the Swayam Bhava. Now it takes place. Now we're going to see the among the Guna Avatar. So this is how it's going. So can some of you read this? Read the translations.
The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the 3 modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, he accepts the 3 quality forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these 3, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of quality of goodness.
We can see the Lord is started establish about his Gunavatar. He says that is indirectly associated. What does mean? What that does mean that transcendental person got indirectly associated with these 3 modes of nature. What does you understand on it? Can somebody of you explain what you understand on this?
Indirectly means that he is not he's not directly doing those things.
Okay. How about others?
If, maybe he's come in the mode of the material through the material actually.
Okay. Okay. I'm giving you all clue. Can you all refer from the verse number 1 from canto 1, chapter 1. It's something connected there.
Krishna is independent, Swarat.
Huh. Krishna is independent.
Yes, independent. Yeah. Samu, what are you doing now? You're doing this thing. You can see
The chief
the
individual.
pardon?
He's a chief individual.
No, okay. You see, Vinmayo Yatra Trishargo Mrsha. Word by word translations.
Which verse, Prabhu? Which line?
Vinmayo, Tejo Varimardam, right? So you see Vinmayo Yatra Trishargo.
Oh, okay. Action and reaction were upon three modes of creation. Creative.
Okay, that's done. Create speculate. So then you go to the up, you say Itrat and also Anyat and Itra. What does mean?
Itrat means indirectly.
Anvayat?
Anmayat. Wait, Prabhu.
Directly.
Yes, that means the Lord direct and indirectly controlling this three mode of material nature.
Okay.
This is where verse number 1 is very important. This is the reason where I'm giving you all most stress on the verse number 1, you know. You all remember taking for 2 weeks, right? To finish it. So like so that you all can get clear picture. That means indirectly, that means the Lord control them. It means it's under the direction of the Lord. These material natures are working, but indirectly. In the same time, is and what does mean? Was this our Srayu Mataji? Trishagra. What does you say earlier?
Trishagra. Trisargo. Three modes of creation, creative faculties.
Yes, what does faculty means?
Faculty means
Institution.
yeah, it's under institution. It's like different chapters, something like that. Different, yeah.
Departments.
Different departments.
Okay, that means a different department. Yes, from this we can understand that this verse confirms that Lord Sri Krishna by his plenary part should be rendered Vishnu service. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are principal director of three gunas, aims called Gunavatar, the quality form of the Lord. Brahma is the deity of Raja, patience. The prison of the material world is created by Brahma under the instruction of the personality of Godhead. Creation is made possible by the goodness of Vishnu. Okay, then Vishnu, the deity of the quality of goodness in the material world, is the Purusha avatar known as Kishorodaka Vishnu, O Paramatma, in charge of Sattva Guna Activity. Maintenance of material world is done by Vishnu. He manifests by his million and billion integrated form and separate forms. And Maheshwara, the deity of ignorance, at the end of Kalpa, Brahma life, the whole thing is destroyed by Lord Shiva. What is ultimate benefit? To get liberation from this prison house of the material existence, which is full of misery, like repetition of birth and death, disease and old age. How to get ultimate benefit? By worship Lord Krishna or his plenary part, Vishnu Tattva. It's not Jiva Tattva, it's Vishnu Tattva through the Vishnu service. Why only Vishnu, not Brahma or Shiva? So this question might arise. Worship Vishnu because Lord Vishnu is the source of everything. He creator of the secondary creator of Brahma. So from the Purushavata, first Purusha, the second Purushas came from Karnataka, Garbhodaka Vishnu. From the Garbho, where we can see the secondary creation, right? The secondary creator. So the first creator is Bhagavan himself. Va instructena Brahma Vridi Yakevaya. Do you all remember this verse where I'm taking from? No. You're just, I'm again always referring to the verse number 1.
Oh, okay.
Can somebody read the verse number 1, please? The verse, not the translation.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadi Asya Yato Nyavat Itaratas Chartesva Abhijana Swarat. Tena Brahma Hridaya Adikavya.
Okay, thank you. So what does mean Tena Brahma Adikavya? It means he giving the instruction through the art. That means who's the chief engineering here? Is Krishna. So he just gives the order to Brahma to do the creations. So the creation, instruction and everything is given by the Lord. If you all noticing, so this is a very important subject, that so the Lord inspire Brahma to create, how to create everything. So he giving the idea, or he the one giving the blueprint before doing creation. So that's how it takes. However, he never come under the influence of the mood of nature. He control the mood of material nature. Except for Vishnu, no other demigod can release the soul from material existence. That means none of the demigods can given a soul or jiva. They can stop the cycle of birth and death. So none of them, the demigods can stop. So no demigod can stop this. Pure transcendental worship the form of goodness Vishnu in various form by rendering Vishnu service. Only by such worship they get liberated from misery, repetition of birth, death, disease, and old age of the material world. So then why only Vishnu, not Brahma? So why? Because Brahma or Shiva, materialistic and a foolish human being, predominating by the mood of passion and ignorance, worship Brahma and Shiva respectively. By such worship, they get some relative facility for temporary relief in material world, but they can never get liberated from the misery, repetition of birth, death, disease, and old age of the material world. If you know the story of Markandeya Rishi, when he is a staunch Lord Shiva Bhaktas, he asking, give me this, give me that. The Lord Shiva is giving and giving, and end of this is Tapasya asking to Lord Shiva, can you give liberations? And Lord Shiva said that I can't give, because only Mukunda can give. This is where we can start. If you read Markandeya Purana, you can understand that. So only Krishna can award the mukti. So then we're going to the verse number 24 now. Prithivya Druna Damsa Tasman Agni Triyamayaha Tamastu Raja Tamas Sadvam Yat Brahma Darshana. Can one of you read this translation?
Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is still better. For by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, rajas, is better than ignorance, tamas, but goodness, sattva, is the best because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this verse is indicate how the mood of goodness is better than the mood of passions and ignorance, by giving us analogy of how fire is better than the smoke and wood. Tamas, the uncivilized state of life or life of a lower animal, is controlled by the mood of tamas. So this is how the mood of tamas is being, controlled. And this is Raja Singh. The civil life of man with the passion of various type of material benefit in the stage of Rajas, the Raja stage of life give a slight clue to realization of the absolute truth in a form of fine sentiment in a philosophy, art, culture with moral and etiquette principle. This is how the Tattva promoting. Then this is how Rajas now Sattva. So the highest stage of material quality, which is actually help one in realizing the absolute truth. So then, so one has to rise to the platform of mood of goodness, Sattva, so that one can be eligible for the additional service of the Lord and can come realize absolute truth. How can one get the platform Sattva? By expert direction of spiritual master. So we need to get the direction of spiritual master. What is mistake? To consider that worshipper of any quality or any form of the supreme personal God is equal and beneficial. So to think that any other form also equal, no, that is mistake. Why it mistake? Except Vishnu, all separate form, Brahma, Shiva are manifest under the condition of material energy. Therefore, the form of material energy cannot help anyone to rise to the platform of Sattva, which alone can liberate a person from material bondage. So this how we have seen mood of Sattva. Now we're going to the, so first we have to understand Sattva Guna also material, also a material platform where you need to trans the mood of Sattva to Suddha Sattva. That is important. When you come to the fourth canto of Srimad-bhagavatam, you all will get clear explanation of Suttvam Vasudeva Sabidam, where the conscious of Suddha Sattva, where we can transcendental, where last week classes I have given a glimpse of Suddha Sattva, how it works from the devotional service, where when Sattva Gunas prominent, when Sattva Gunas there, then you can trans to the Suddha Sattva. So now we're going to the verse number 25, where in the ancient sage worship the transcendental Supreme Lord to derive ultimate benefit. This is what we're going to see from here. Bajare munyo thagre bhagavatam adoksham sadvam visudam shemaya. So you have to see sadvam visudam, the means Suddha Sattva shemayaha kalpante yuna tahantiyaha. Not only Suddha Sattva, not only Sattva, it should be Suddha Sattvam, Sattvam Vishuddham. The main need be transed to Suddha Sattva. Just only with Sattva, we can't go. So Sattva is to bring you in a mode of Brahmana. Brahmana is normally in a Sattva Guna, but Brahmana realization is only in the mode of Sattva, but it's not enough us to understand or to get a clear picture of Krishna. So can some of you read it?
Previously, all the
yeah, please carry on. Yeah, Prabhu, please read.
Previously, all the great sages rendered service unto the personality of Godhead due to his existence above the three modes of material nature. They worshipped him to become free from material conditions and thus derive the ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. Hare Krishna.
So can somebody translate for me the word of Visudam, word by word?
Above the three modes of nature.
Okay, thank you so much. So then this how, so above, so this how we understand. The purpose of performing religious either to profit by material, gain, nor to get a simple knowledge of discerning matter from the spirit. And the second is ultimate aim of religious performance is to realize oneself from the material bondage and regain the life of freedom in transcendental world where the personality of God is supreme person. Then law of religion, therefore, are direct enact by the personality of Godhead and accept for Mahajan. Or the authorized agent of the Lord. No one knows the purpose of religion. So the Dharma is directly enacted by the personality of Godhead. How we can see in chapter canto 6, our Yama Dharma says, Dharma Sut Sachat Bhagwan Prinitam. The Dharma is created by the Lord. Where we can see there are 12 particular agents of the Lord who know the purpose of religion, and all of them render a transcendental service into Him. A person who desire their own good may follow this Mahajan, and those attain the supreme benefit. In a sense, the three form of Brahma, the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are one. How Lord Krishna act through them to create, maintain, and destroy the world. So as a devote, this is called Achindya Abheda Veda Tattva. In a sense, three form of they are one, but they are not. If they are one, how? That means Lord Krishna act, because Krishna act through them to create, maintain, and destroy the world. So this is how we see the connection here. And therefore, the great sage, knowing that the Lord is beyond the mood of material nature, worship Him to attain ultimate benefit. Who are those great sages? Who are those great sages? 12 Mahajan who know the purpose of religion and render transcendental service on the Lord. Following the footsteps, these Mahajans, one attains supreme benefit. So Jiva Goswami explained in his Paramatma Sandarbha, Anuchedya 11th, a Brahma Shiva, the partial expansion of the super soul, and what should strive find the super soul to attain liberations. It's just expansion of super soul. So we need to go direct to super soul rather than to go to expansion. In Skanda Purana, Lord Vishnu bind and untie the soul with the rope of birth and death. And aims worship of Lord Vishnu is about liberation. So ultimately, we want to get free from the bondage. We need to go to Krishna. And why patience is superior to ignorance? Why? Patience can lead one to goodness, but ignorance cannot. Patience can lead one come closer to seeing the Supreme. However, it's agitating the troublesome, so it does not allow us to see the Supreme. So this we can see in the verse number 26. And now, 25. Now we're going to 26 to 27, where we completing reject the worship of demigod. So how we're going to see Mumaksava Gora Rupam Itva Bhuta Patinatha Narayana Kala Santa Bhajanti E Anusuyi Ani Suyavaha. So the translation, please.
Those who are serious about liberations are certainly none envious, and they respect all. Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly forms of the demigods and worship only the all-blissful form of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portions.
So that means it's a very, when we preach this, so this is the reason why Srimad-bhagavatam is strictly for the devotees who want to advance in spiritual life. Right? That means where, okay, the first level to come to devotional service is Sraddha, the faith, right? So you might have a faith. Why? Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly form. What does mean horrible and ghastly form? Which form they are referring to? Any idea? Kali, Kala Bhairava.
Kali Amma.
Yeah, all this is the ghastly and horrible, right? So they reject all these things. No more worship of this, because they got excited to worship all these demigods. So, but what to do? This is the fact. So we're going to see what the Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva, the supreme personality of Lord Krishna, or the personality of Godhead Lord Sri Krishna, who is the original person of Vishnu category, expand himself into two different categories, namely integrate plenary portion as Vishnu Tattva and separate part and partial Jiva Tattva. So the demigods are normally the Jiva Tattva, and Vishnu direct Swamsa is Vishnu Tattva. So sometimes we might be so among them they got one Tattva in between. It called Shiva, but neither Jiva Tattva or neither Vishnu Tattva. So in between. So going to see Vishnu Tattva, the Lord Krishna integrated plenary portion and integrated plenary portion of Vishnu Tattva are worshipable object. The Vishnu Tattva represented by the various names and forms such as Narayana, Damodara, Vamana, Govinda, and Adhokshasha. Vishnu Tattva are living being equal as powerful as the original form of the personality of Godhead, and they display different category of power in considerations of different time and circumstance. Worship of Vishnu Tattva can give the living entity or Jiva Tattva liberation from the misery of material world, namely birth, death, old age, and disease. Therefore, Lord Vishnu called Mukti Pada. So this out and Jiva, what's the Jiva Tattva about? So Jiva Tattva is Lord Krishna separate part and partial. This is just part and partial from it. Separate part and partial are servitor. So they are servitor. They cannot become Ishvara. All demigods are empowered by Supreme Lord are also separate part and partial of Jiva Tattva. So we have to understand that clear. The next, separated part and partial Jiva Tattva are powerful by limitations. They do not have unlimited power. They have different position in the estimation of material power, and some of them are demigod like Kala Bhairava, Samsana Bhairava, Sani, Mahakali, Chandika. Worshiped Jiva Tattva, that means demigod, can award the worship some temporary benefit only and not ultimate one, because they are themselves unable to get liberation and want to speak of giving liberation to their devotee. And moreover, they all liquidate at the time of the inhalations of material structures. So when material annihilate and the creation is annihilated, so all become a liquid. So then we can see a clear about what is the Vishnu and what is Jiva. So this how these two. Then next we're going to see who's the Pasandi. So they got one who classify Vishnu Tattva in the same category with Jiva Tattva. We can worship all together one, no problem, all are same. So they are called as Pasandi. Naturally, many foolish persons commit such unfair offense and equal the two category. They become an offender by the name Pasandi. So did you all remember? Not remember, maybe all contract, right? Whenever you go and speak with someone, Krishna, the Supreme Personality God, is different from this. And what the reaction is given by them to you all? Can you all share, if you don't mind? And how you face, because basically from Hindu background, you might be seeing the Hindu, no? So how you facing them? What they saying to you? Is it they say same, or they say that all are Krishna's are supreme, and how they respond to you when you say Krishna supreme?
Everybody claims that theirs is the supreme actually. Yeah, that's what they're claiming. Like for example, if we go to a different, if I've spoken to one of the persons who are one of the guru followers, and they say that no, you only this is the person who can give you a liberation and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
See, so it's difficult to talk to any one of these people actually. So the best thing is.
You are right, but in order to to knock them up, you need pramana. Pramana is important. Where they get pramana? When we referring to canto chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, why Krishna need to show his Vishwarup? Because you know that in the future there will be imposter, right? You know that imposter will be there. So. So from scriptures, Mati say from scriptures, yes. So that, thank you so much, Matish. I don't know that you are here, so welcome. So, so there are some imposter claim, no? So therefore, we need to get Shastra Pramanam. 1612, Bhagavad Gita says, Tasme Shastra Pramanam Akarya Karyaha. Everything need to be under the scripture injunction. We can't simply say that, and the many people outside claim themselves to become God. Recently, Nityananda, he says that he's a guru. Now he claimed himself to become avatar of Lord Shiva. He says that he came. So can we accept that? No. Since they're doing magic, boom, boom, boom. No, he says that many things happen. How are you going to face that? Can we accept that allegation, Prabhu?
Cannot.
Because Cannot. So merely by magic show, merely they say they can accept. Everything need to be evidence. When you go to the court, can the judge or the judge give a decision by his own whimsically? No, the lawyer need to give code. He need to give reference at a time where from which the punishment need to be there, right? You cannot simply, oh, because he's my neighbor, I'm less his punishment. Is it applicable?
Not applicable.
It's not applicable. So why when come to the religion, they can't accept that?
Correct. Yeah. What you're saying is right, Prabhu, because you need an evidence. So you need to base on some scriptures actually. So that where exactly the evidence, if you can prove that where is the evidence come from and all these things, then it is fair enough. Then there is a rationale there. Otherwise, just by saying it doesn't work.
Okay, let's say I'm in front of the judge and I'm just bluntly give something. How the judge check me now? How the judge will accept me? Is it I'm offended to the judge because I'm merely antam and speak, whimsically speak?
Cannot. So
I'm become offender, right, for the law?
Yes.
So like that, they become offender by the name of Pasandi. You got a clear pictures now?
Okay.
Okay. So this how now we can see.
Prabhu, hold on. Pasandi mean is the person who don't follow the scriptures, is it? They just wall up. Is that what you're saying?
Wall up. Yeah, they don't have a quotation. They won't give quote. They simply speak.
Okay.
So we can take, Matthew was saying something about David Kapil. Luckily, he's not a Hindu guy. If it's a Hindu guy, I think maybe most of the Hindus' house we can see David Kapil pictures, It's not get shocks, So just merely by doing a magic show, by deviling something to this, you can do a magic. If you are a science student, let's say you are a science student, you put magnesium pomegranate where you're washing for your skin, right? Sometimes when you got wound, you're washing that. Now then you put glycerin on it, it will burn, The glycerin is like watery. Let's say I want to do magic, I put some wood there and I put potassium permanganate. You all don't know I'm decorating, Then I just pour some kind of water substance. So within a few minutes or within a reaction of the chemical, the fire is start to blaze. So then how people, wow, this man just merely chant the mantra, the fire came. Then they do not see the science between there, right? So this what is happening. This is called tantri. And people going behind of that. Religion is not something that you're creating a magic. The philosophical. It's not sentimental. Right? From the earlier I was telling that this bhakti yoga is not a it's not a sentimental. This is the bhakti yoga is following the Purana, Idihasa, Pancharatrika, and all this. They're following this. So from that they are executing, not whimsically. Otherwise they call as Prakatya Sahajas. Oh no, so this out. So now you can see worship in a mood of goodness. Those who are actually instituted in mood of goodness, Sattva Guna, of material nature, worship only Vishnu Tattvas. Vishnu Tattva are represent of various names and forms such as Narayana, Damodar, Vamana, Govinda, and Adokshasa. So this how we can see whoever in mood of goodness, they will worship Vishnu normally, or Krishna. But whoever in the mood of passion, so let us see what they worship. Those who are in the mood of passion or Rajagun urged by the desire of material enjoyment, worship the demigod like Brahma, Shiva, Surya, Ganesh, and many similar deities. This is how we can see. Because they want something, some benefit out of that. So they're going material benefits for that means that for the sense enjoyment, And next is mood of ignorance. Those who are in lowest category of mood of darkness or ignorance, Samaguna, worship the demigods like Kala Bhairava, Samasana Bhairava, Sani, Mahakali, and Chandika. This is how they worship. So you can see their worship is so ignorant, they're doing anything, So if you go to them and you start to speak something, they will sacrifice you. So be careful when you go to that person. They have read many historical pastime where they want to sacrifice Dada Bharat. They want to sacrifice Adi Shankar. If you see in all this mood of Sattva, mood of the passions, when they worship, they're very scared in the mood of ignorance. They can't accept anything. They will be, and you say this is not good. Hey, who are you? They will keep fighting at you because they're just already in ignorance. Yes, Bindya Mataji, look like you're excited, want to tell something. Oh no, she's speaking there. I thought you want to say something, Bindya Mataji, no? Huh?
No.
Okay. Who rejecting the worship of other demigods? Those who are very serious about liberations. So who will be reject? Who are very serious about liberations. In general, the highest qualified Brahmanas situated in the mood of goodness reject the worship of both horrible and attractive feature of these demigods. Even attractive features. Okay. Why do they reject the worship of other demigods? Why? You need to know, because they know that demigods can award the worship some temporary benefit only, and not the ultimate one, liberation from material conditions. And when annihilation happens, they become liquidity. So you know that. So then demigods, even to the stage of Brahma, the supreme of all demigods, cannot offer liberation to anyone. Example, Hiranyakashipu underwent several types of penancy to become eternal life, but his worship deity Brahma could not satisfy him with such blessings. When you go to the 7th canto of Srimad-bhagavatam, you can see where he can't award, mukti, liberations, then this is one of the example, because the demigods are themselves unable to get liberation, and what to speak of giving liberation to the devotees. And moreover, like other living entity, the demigods are liquid at the time of the annihilation of material structures. How do they regard the demigods? They have no grudge against the moods of worship of other demigods. They have all respect of other demigods, even though they may look ghastly like Kalabhairav or Mahakali, because they are very well known that those horrible pictures of Supreme Lord, demigods are all different servitors of the Lord under the different conditions. How? The devotees. So they will respect. We respect them, but we not worship them. Why? Because they are the agent of the Lord to do some activity or some task given by the Lord. So this is how we can see on accept on a demigods, how regards on the demigods, so how we regards, we respect, not we don't respect, we won't condemn them up. Who worship Vishnu Tattva, those who are very serious about liberation from the material condition of life. Generally, qualified Brahmana who worship the Vishnu Tattva represented by Saligram Shila, and some of them Ayakas like Kshatriya and Vaishya also generally worship Vishnu Tattva. So that means everybody worshipping Vishnu Tattva, even a Sudra. Why do they worship the Vishnu Tattva? Because they are very well known that none other than Vishnu is Muktipat, give a liberation from the material condition life. So now we're going to the verse number 27, where also same to the 26, why we need to reject the demigod worship. So Raja Tama Prakatya Sama Sila Bhajanti Vai Pritir Bhuta Prajedeshin Sri Aishwaryaha Prajes Sapaha. So can somebody of you read the translation, please?
Those who are in the mood of passion and ignorance worship the forefathers, other living beings, and the demigods who are in charge of cosmic activities, for they are urged by a desire to be materially benefited with woman, wealth, power, and progeny.
Thank you, bro. Can some of you, if you have Bhagavatam, can read the purport on verse number 27 and the same verses where the sort of religions, the last paragraph started from the sort of religion.
Yeah.
This sort of religious activity has been condemned in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam as Kaitava Dharma. There is only one religion in the world to be followed by one and all, and that is the Bhagavad Dharma, or the religion which teaches one to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead and no one else.
This where the verse number 2 of Srimad-bhagavatam we have discussed, right? Dharma Projita Kaitava. You all remember? So this where it say, yeah, it goes to the verse now, the translation of this. Where in Bhagavad Gita 7:20 to the 23, it's clearly said that those who are mad after material enjoyment approach the different demigods for the temporary benefit, which are meant for man with poor power of knowledge. So this is a Bhagavad Gita 20, up to 23. Then those who are intelligent has been stolen by material desire, surrender to demigod and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. So the own nature they will worship. And I mean everyone art as super soul. As soon as one desire to worship some demigod, I make his fate steady so that he can devote himself to the particular deities. So the Lord himself also facilitate to the soul if they want to worship the demigods. So the Lord never stopped. If you want to worship, you can worship. But if you are very serious, you want to go back, you want to stop the cycle of birth, and you are very serious on this business, then you need to worship Krishna, no otherwise. If you want the opulence, akama, sarvakama, moksha kama udrini, you also can worship Krishna. Like Dhruva Maharaj, when he worships, when you want the universal that bigger than his grandfather Swayam or grandfather and the great grandfather of Brahma. So you know what, as a Dhruva Loka. So depend on the individual. If really want, the Lord can facilitate. But your surrender, your faith is on him is needed. You need to cultivate the faith by listening more on his katha, more in his philosophy, more chanting, where you can get all these things. Endeavor with such faith, he endeavored to worship his particular demigod to obtain as he desire. But in actually, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Actually, the Lord's award them. Even they worship the demigods, the Lord will sanction whether to give or not. Even they get is sanctioned by the Lord. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruit are limited and temporary. Those worship the demigods go to the planet of demigods, but my duty ultimately reach my supreme planet. So this is what Prabhupada recommend. So recommend the following. If one serious about going back to Godhead, there are no need to worship demigods or whatsoever category, because the demigod are but servant of the Lord, and such they are duty bound to supply necessity of life in a form of water, light, and air, and extra. Except only to the point bare necessity of life, not more, less than that. Never increase and depth of material enjoyment. If so, we get bound more and more to the misery of material existence. Aim of life and the misery of life, and not to increase them. By Vishnu worship, one can derive benefit in this life as well in the life after that. Forgetting this principle, foolish people who are after more wealth, more wife, and more children worship various demigods. Preservity of religion, Bhagavad Dharma is Kaitava Dharma. Example, Lord Krishna stopped Indra worship and advised the resident of Vraja to worship by their business to have faith in God. This is where Govardhan pastime take, where the Lord become transcendently angry, where he was got angry when Nanda Maharaj want to worship Indra, and Krishna stopped it by giving the Purma Mimamsa philosophy or Karma Mimamsa philosophy. Now, so one should carefully execute occupation service with a faith in a God in a proper way and worship the Supreme Lord by the fruits of one art labor for existence that will lead one gradual on the progress, march back to Godhead. It's very easy process Prabhupada is giving. So this is verse number 28 and 29. Okay, this is the essence. So what the second questions? First question and second question.
First question, what is the ultimate good of people in general? Second question, explain the essence of all scriptures for everyone's satisfaction.
Okay, so now you're going to see this. So first he's giving a summary. Now he explain more detail of the essence of the scriptures and also the ultimate good of the people. So now he's concluding the question number 1 and question number 2. Then he's going to jump to answer question number 4. What is the question number 3? Why? take born in a
Devaki's womb.
womb. So we're going to see in a canto 9, and from canto 9 onward, the deeper or the full explanation will be in canto 10 for the question number 3. So you all need to patiently wait to get question number 3 to be answered.
Okay.
Vasudeva Paraveda. You see, Vasudeva Paraveda. What's the essence of the scripture? So Vasudeva Paradeva, Vasudeva Paramaka, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriya, Vasudeva Paramjnanam, Vasudeva Paramtapa, Vasudeva Parodharma, Vasudeva Parakati. Can some of you read the translation, please?
In the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing Him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by Him only. He is supreme knowledge, and all severe austerities are performed to know Him. Religion, Dharma, is rendering loving service unto Him. He is the supreme goal of life.
So throughout now, the first questions, right, was explaining how to do bhakti, was explaining about Asrada, was given all the 40 stage. Now he said that Vasudeva Para Veda. What does mean Para? Can somebody say Para? What does mean Para?
Supreme.
No, Para, yeah, the word by word translations.
The ultimate
goal.
So what's the ultimate goal? Vasudeva Para? Vasudeva Para. What's the ultimate goal for the people? Vasudeva Para. So then Para Veda, what the essence? So what does mean Veda? What means Veda?
Sorry, we are going too fast.
No, I'm asking what mean of Veda.
Scriptures.
Okay, what these two questions?
Essence.
Okay, one is essence, first is ultimate good. So the both have been answered that Vasudeva is only
Good.
object and the essence of revealed scriptures Vedas. This is the reason we say that Vasudeva Para Gati. Okay. Vasudeva, our Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality God, is the only object of worship is confirmed in these two sloka. Can some of you read the note that I give so easier for you all to understand?
Vasudeva Para Veda, the ultimate purpose of Vedas is to know Lord Krishna. All the revealed scriptures are prepared by Lord through his incarnations in the body of Srila Vyasadeva, just to remind the fallen souls conditioned by material nature of Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, some of substance of all the Vedas, establishing one's relationships and ultimately reviving our lost loving service unto him. Veda is cha sarveir aham eva veda vedyo vedanta krit veda vit eva chaham. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. The verdict of all the Vedic literatures, no demigod can award freedoms from material bondage. However, impersonalists who have no information of the personality of Godhead minimize the omnipotency of the Supreme Lord and put him on equal footing with all other living beings. And for this act, such impersonalists get freedom from material bondage only with great difficulty. They can surrender unto him only after many, many births in the culture of transcendental knowledge. Bahunam janmanam ante janavan mam prapanyante. Bhagavad Gita 7:19. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is such a great soul is very rare. Hare Krishna.
You all very rare to get.
Yeah.
So this is Vasudeva Paramaka. The purpose of performing sacrifice to please Lord Krishna. So another name of Lord Vasudeva is Yagna. Or in Bhagavad Gita, it's clearly stated that all sacrifice and all activity are to be conducted for satisfaction of Yagna or Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasham Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So this is how Bhagavad Gita 5.99. A person of full consciousness of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austere, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor of all, and well-wisher of all living entity, attain peace from the palm of material misery. And even the beginning of any karma kanda, the ritual, they recite the name of Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu is ultimate beneficiary, and all such sacrifices are also meant for the realizing the truth about Vasudeva. This is how they say that, they will say, how the verse is start, Matish, can you help me out the sloka, how the chant, how that? Tat Vishnu Paramapadam Shat Pashyanti Suryaha. So this how they will chant this sloka, then they will do, So then the next Vasudeva Parakriya, all fruit activity are ultimate rewards by him only. Kriya means Varnashram Dharma, everyone is engaged in his own work. Brahmana is engaged in his own work, Kshatriya is engaged in his own work. Swanit Ashya Dharma Samsiddhi Aritosanam. This is where we are referring 1 to 13. All activity should be done for satisfactions of the Supreme Lord. It doesn't matter whether you are Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Sudra. It doesn't matter. Just to see by your work whether Krishna or Vasudeva are being satisfied. This is how we must see. Then Vasudeva Prayoga. Yoga is for realizing Lord Krishna. Yoga means to get connected, unite with the Supreme Lord. This is the meaning of words of yoga. Yoga is not meant for health sakes. Now we can see people are doing yoga for many things. Yoga for office, yoga for, I don't know. So yoga is not for health sakes. But people are so much observed in bodily concept of life. Everything they want with this in connection with this body. So they can have more sense gratification. That's all. Instead of Vasudeva Parayoga, they are doing Sarira Parayoga. Am I right? So then the process, however, includes severely body features such as asana, dhyana, dana, pranayama. So all this dharana and all this, all they are meant for concentrating upon the localized aspect of Vasudeva, represent as a Paramatma. So yoga means to understand Paramatma or to realizing or unite with the Supreme Lord, or get connected. This is what yoga means. By performing proper yoga, one will get Paramatma realization, but that is partially realization of Vasudeva. And if one is successful in attempt, one realizes Vasudeva in full. So, but by ill luck, most of yogis are stand by power of mysticum achieved through the bodily process. We can see some are stuck. They can't progress. Ill-fated yogis are given a chance in an expert by being placed in family of good learned Brahmana or in family of rich merchant in order to get unfinished task of Vasudeva realization. Maybe in previous life, all of you may be a failure or ill-fated yogis. Now we are again join here, including myself, to realize Vasudeva realization. I don't know. So maybe you all from Nitya Suris. This is how I've been explained. In such fortune, Brahmana or son of rich man properly utilize the chance, they can easily realize Vasudeva by good association with a saintly person. But unfortunately, such preferred person are captivated again by material wealth and honor, and those they are practically forget the aim of life. So sometimes when you practice bhakti yoga, they have pratishta, kanaga, and kamani. Pratishta means the name and fame is come. When the name and fame come, they always want him to be glorified or her to be glorified. This is pratishta. Kanaga means the money, everything will come, everything will come in a name of opulence. And kamani means if the man, the girls will come, Prabhu, can I marry you? I will look after you, don't worry. We just preach about Krishna Katha, so we'll look after you, we'll give you money, my father is rich. All these things they will tell, and same go to the girls. spiritual, very spiritually, then the man will tell, oh my dear beautiful girl, you are such a beautiful, there are no three, in this three world, there are no such a beautiful girl more than you. Then I will look after you, I will take care of your need, and I will really, whatever you want, I will, will supply. This how it go, so then Yogina Apisarvesha Mat Gatiratmana. Of all yogis, if one great fate who always abducts me, thinking of me within himself and render transcendent loving service to me, is most intimately unite with me in yoga and highest of all. This is my opinion. This is what Krishna said. 6:14, he says that the Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate. So this is how we can see. Then Vasudeva Paramjnanam, Lord Krishna is the supreme knowledge. What is jnana? According to Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 items in culturing knowledge. Such culture of knowledge, one becomes gradually prideless, devoid of vanity, non-violent, forbearing, simple, devoted to the great spiritual master, and self-control. By culture of knowledge, one becomes unattached to the earth, home, and become conscious of the misery due to the death, birth, old age, and disease. Culture of knowledge leading one to the transcendental plan of meeting Vasudeva, real knowledge, and all culture of knowledge cultivate in devotional service to Supreme Personal Godhead Vasudeva. Bahunam Janma Ante Janamam Pravantite. So this was 7:19 Bhagavad Gita. After many births and deaths, you who actually knowledge surrendering to me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is such great soul is very rare. So therefore, Vasudeva is ultimate aim of culturing all different branches of knowledge. What is Ajnana? Basic physical knowledge in which various branch which is aimed to satisfy the sense, which mean prolongation of the term of material existence and thereby continue of three-word misery in called Ajnana, or opposite of real knowledge. So when Bhagavatam earlier, Vindhya Mataji was chanted very nicely, Om Ajnana Trimandasya, right? So removing, what removing? Removing from the physical knowledge. That means giving the real spiritual knowledge. Om Ajnana Trimandasya Janajana Salakya Shakshuramlitamena Tasmi Sri Guru Enama. I offer my humble obeisance to my dear spiritual master with the pure spiritual knowledge as illuminate my conscience which is blindly by darkness of my science. So this is my country, I need to fight for Malaysia. Let's fight for Malaysia. Let's fight for Tamil. Let's fight for Nepal. Let's fight for Telugu. Let's fight for Malayali. Let's fight for so on. Ism is there. But they need to understand we are the soul. And the soul is Jivare Surupare Krishnare Nityadasris. Then Vasudevam Parantapa. All civil austerity are performed to know Lord Krishna. Tapasya means voluntary accept bodily pain in concept to achieve some higher end of life. What is not real tapasya? Example, Ravana and Hiranyakashipu underwent a civil type of body to achieve and sense gratification. So, did Ravana success in tapasya? Did Hiranyakashipu success in tapasya?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. How about others?
No, because if it was a real tapasya, they would have achieved something else. Yeah, not the. They did.
Okay, you see, kindly please see the definition I give. Tapasya means voluntarily accepting absence of body pain, inconvenience to achieve some higher end of life. That's mean tapasya.
Higher end of life mean no.
No, okay. Thank you so much. How about others? So he pull it back. Allegation proof, pull it back.
Because just now I was saying because they whatever they want, because they were worshipping the Lord Shiva, they got what they wanted actually. But if you talk about the high,
but that's real tapasya. So this is the reason why previously we saw jnana, the knowledge.
Okay, right.
So after knowledge, we come into the tapa now. So the real knowledge is to know,
to understand the absolute truth.
Absolute truth and to some higher end of life. So we need to be there.
Get liberated. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that means it's already concluded. Thank you, Allegation Prabhu, to conclude this. Sometimes some modern politicians also undergo severe also to achieve some politic ends. You can see, right, some of the modern politicians, right? They're doing some drama, no? And they say that I'm doing this for you. We can take example of Gandhi ji, and he allowing the cow shelter, and everybody calling him Mahatma in other end. That's called tapasya, no? Tapasya means we need to know, achieve higher end of life. Those all three are classify a mood of passion and ignorance. Passion and ignorance cannot be, and misery of life. And hence they are not considered as tapasya. These austerity are classified as a mood of passion and ignorance. Passion and ignorance cannot end the misery of life, and hence these are not considered as tapasya. What's real tapasya then? Yet tapasya kaunteya tat krush mat arpanam 927. So whatever austerity you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as offering to me. One should accept voluntarily bodily inconvenience for the sake of knowing Vasudeva, because only that will end the threefold misery of conditioned life. Now, you're all doing a tapasya. I'm start to speak. I don't know if you all understand or not, but you're still tolerating and sit there. Next, I don't know how you're sitting there. Now you might be have a pain, right? Also tapasya. Just sitting, just focusing on the camera, the lagging voices and all these things. Also tapasya, no? Because you want to know Krishna. So you're all doing a tapasya. Example, Vasudeva and Devaki underwent a painsi to get Vasudeva as their son. Therefore, if any austerity have to be done, they must be done to achieve the end of knowledge Vasudeva. So this is example Vasudeva and Devaki is when they become Prishni and Garbha, no? When they're doing the Yajna before. So what is Vasudeva Parodharma? To render loving service to the Supreme Lord as Supreme Dharma, who define the Dharma religious principle, Dharma Susachat Bhagavan Trinitam, real religious principle enacted by the Supreme Lord Godhead. What is the real religious principle? Bhagavad Dharma. Go surrender to the Supreme Lord and love Him without any contamination. By mood of material nature, it's very difficult for ordinary human to know and understand. Who know the real religious principle? Who know? Srimad-bhagavatam 6, 3, 20 to 21. Lord Brahma, Bhagavan, Narada, Lord Shiva, for Kumara, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayam Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Chanaka, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, and myself know the real religions. This is a 12 Mahajan. So I myself know the real religious principle. You all know who they refer to?
Is that referring to ourselves, is it?
No, no. Any other guest?
Sukadev Goswami.
No. Any other guest?
Lord Krishna.
No. The answer is there in the slide itself.
Yamaraj.
Yes, Yamaraj. Yamaraj telling to is Vishnu Dutta when you this past time he enacted this canto is enacted the deliverance of Ajamil. So Yama Dharma telling to is Vishnu Dutta. So how to know and understand the most convenient religious principle? The purport Yamaraj stated that true religion principle is understood only by one follow any of the four parampara system. What the four parampara system? Anybody know what is the four parampara systems?
Sampradaya, Prabhu.
Yeah, what's that?
Sri Rudra,
Sri
Gaudiya, and Sri Rudra, Brahma, and Kumaras.
Yes, these four sampradaya. Very good. Thank you. Swast Nita Dharmasya Samsiddhi Ritusanam. Following the Varna Ashram, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimate to the devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupation duty according to his position in his social order. But if he is by executing his duty, one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activity are vain. Anything that does not lead to the perfection of stage of Krishna, one should be avoided. So the ultimate or the duty of Swadharma should be samsiddhi aritusanam. Ultimate, what that means? That means we should simply, ultimate is to the devotional service of the Lord. This is the ultimate, which lead to the devotional service of the Lord. This should be there. Sarva dharma parityaja, this last verse of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 1866. One should give up all other duties, surrender into the lotus feet of Krishna. What is Vasudeva Paragati? To attain Lord Krishna is the supreme goal of life. Aim of life, Lord Krishna is in innumerable form are made possible by his various energy. His energy are multifarious, his internal energy are superior, external energy inferior in quality. Bhagavad Gita 7:4-6 as para and apara means prakriti. So is explanation of various form, including the living entity which take place via the internal energy or superior form, where the explanation which take place via the external energy are inferior form. The living entity who are expand by its internal potential are external liberated person, where those who expand in term of material energy are internal conditioned soul. Therefore, all culture of knowledge, austerity, sacrifice, and activity should be aimed at changing the quality of influence that acting upon us, internal energy of the Lord, and just change the quality of influence. We must endeavor to cultivate spiritual energy. In Bhagavad Gita, it says that those who are Mahatma, or those who are mind, have been broadness as to be engaged in service of Lord Krishna under influence of internal potency, and the effect of such broad mind living entity are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord without deviations. That should be aim of life, and that is verdict of all Vedic literature. How should one engage himself in transcendental loving service of the Lord? Anabhilashunyam, Jnana Karma Anarvatam, Anukulana Krishna Sarinam, Bhakti Uttamam. One should render service, loving service to the Supreme Lord, Krishna fairly and without desire for material profit or gain through the fruit activity of philosophic expectation, that is called pure devotional service. By this, one can attain the supreme goal of life, Lord Krishna. So this is a conclusion for this section. Conclusion. Sutta Goswami explained that Ari, Vasudeva, Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, Supreme Personality Godhead, is beyond the mode of material nature, even though he accepts the quality of goodness of material world. Therefore, instruct that those serious about liberation should worship only Vasudeva through devotional service, for he is the supreme goal of life. How is that Lord Krishna is transcendental, even though he accepts the quality of goodness of material nature? The following example will clear that matter more explicitly. In a prison house, they are prisoner and the manager of the prison house. Both manager and the prisoner are bound by the law of the king, but even though the king sometimes come in the prison, he is not bound by the law of the prison house. The king is therefore always transcendental to the law of prison house, as the Lord always transcendental to the law of material goods. This is analogy, no? Then reference from Prabhupada.organs, romapadswami.com, ISKCON Desire 3, and Gurujan Prabhu's book called Srimad-bhagavatam Overview Lectures 1-2-29, and Unwilling Lotus Feet of His Grace Gurujan Prabhu. And I forget to add the books called Bhagavad Sambodhini. So this is a reference I take today, all Gisela Prabhupads. And one should culture knowledge is falling away. One should become perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. One should not pose himself as a religionist simply for name and fame. One should not become a source of anxiety to others by action of his body, by the thought of his mind, or by his word. One should learn forbearance even in a face of provocations from others. One should learn to avoid duplicity in dealing with others. And 6 is one should search a bona fide spiritual master who can lead him gradually to the stage of spiritual realization, and one must submit himself to such spiritual master, render service, and ask relevant questions. 7, in order to approach the platform self-realization, one must follow the repeated principle and join in revealed scripture. One must fix intent of revealed scriptures. 9, one should completely refrain from the practice which is determined to the interest of self-realization. 10, one should not accept more than he requires for the maintenance of the body. 11, one should not falsely identify himself with a gross material body, nor should one consider those who are related to his body to be his own. One should always remember that as long as he has a material body, he must face the misery of repeat birth, old age, disease, and death. There are no use in making plan to get rid of this misery of material body. The best course is to find out the mean by which one may regain spirituality. One should not be attached to more than necessity of life required for spiritual advancement. One should not be more attached to the wife, children, and home than revealed scripture. So, allegation Prabhu, Sham Sharan Prabhu, when your duty done, please join me, become Vanaprastha.
Sure,
One should, one should not be happy or distressed or desirable or undesirable, knowing that such feeling is just created by the mind. 16. So I'm just giving what the essence that we're taking from the Srimad-bhagavatam now. One should become an unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and serve him with rapt attention. One should develop liking for resident and secluded place with calm and quiet atmosphere favorable for spiritual culture, and one should avoid congested place where non-devotee congregates. One should become scientist or philosopher and conduct research into spiritual knowledge, recognizing that spiritual knowledge is permanent where the material knowledge and with the that of the body. This 18-item combine a form of gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. Except for this, all other matter are considered to be category of Nisain. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great Acharya, maintained that all form of material knowledge are merely extant feature of illusory energy, and that by culturing them, one become no better than as. Simply the same principle is found here in Ishopanishad. By advance of material knowledge, the modern man simply being converted into an ass. Some materialistic politicians and spiritual girls declare the present system of civilization as satanic, but unfortunately they did not care about the culture of real knowledge is that described in Bhagavad Gita. Those cannot change the satanic situation. So you can watch in YouTube. Thank you so much.